Today we're going to do a video that has been highly requested by a lot of you on Instagram. One whole video that put everything together. So today I'm going to go over my travel tips, how I travel, where I travel, suggestions, things, the rundown, okay? If you want to learn a little bit more, then just keep watching. I have a passport, girl. I'm always like, what? Y'all know that meme where he's like, that's how it be. Because I asked, do you have a passport? No. Then you're not going nowhere. You're not going anywhere. 99% of the deals I see, it's not like oh, it'll be up in 6 months. Like, you need to buy it now. So you need to get your passport now. So like when these things come up, you don't have to wait and try to hurry up and get it, and then by the time you get it, the deal is gone. Like, just go ahead and get your passport. I recently just made my mom get hers renewed because she was wanting to go with me, and I'm like, you don't have a passport, girl. Where are you going? So get your passport. If you have your passport, your options open up so much more. It's just something you don't even have to think about. Get a travel fund. I have a whole separate checking account that I use specifically for travel. And I have a certain amount that is direct deposited to that account from my main checking account every week. So you can start off with a small amount, a big amount, however much you want to do, but I always suggest having a travel fund and not just using money directly from your checking account, or take out some money and have it set aside specifically for that trip. For me, it's usually my spending money when I get to my destination, just because I know like this is the amount of money I have. It also helps with overspending too. Since we're speaking about money, exchange rate. Make sure you know the exchange rate for the country that you're going to. Some places like in Europe, the dollar is less than what their currency is. So you don't want to get somewhere and find out that the $500 that you had set aside really equates to like $350. It's not fun. Count for that too when you're setting up your travel fund. So if you know you want to have about $500 like set aside, look that up and see how much that will exchange to. When I go places, I look up how much is a typical meal in this country, how much are clothes in this country, things like that, things that you know you're gonna be purchasing and buying. Am I making sense? So is to alert your bank of your travel. I cannot tell you how scary it can be when you get somewhere and your bank throws that block on your card because you're not in a familiar territory. Usually like maybe a week or two before I go, I always alert my bank, all of my credit cards. Sometimes you can alert the bank and they still will put a block on your card. And that's why I think it's so important to always have cash on hand when you're traveling. I think the most popular question I get asked is, how do you go to these places? Groupon. I know I've said it like a few times on here before, but I am a huge advocate for getting a deal. I like a deal. I get like a high. Groupon has a section on their website. It's called Getaways. I utilize this website whenever I'm traveling, but my last 3 trips have solely been off of Groupon. If you're traveling domestically, they don't usually have flight and hotels like for domestic trips, but they do have a lot of hotel deals. But for international travel, I highly recommend, if you're gonna go on Groupon, look for the deals that have the airfare and the hotel included. It makes everything so seamless. They basically do everything for you. They book your flight, they send you your confirmation. All you have to do is call them up, tell them what dates you want to travel. Be sure that when you're looking at the deals that you pay attention to the dates that it's available. So if you have a certain time frame in mind of when you want to go somewhere, look, because they will have, like, they will tell you what dates this trip is available for. You know, it's very important if you're traveling internationally, and I just learned this recently on my trip to China. If you're going somewhere where English is not very prevalent, get your hotel information written down in that language. You want to make sure that you can get back to your destination a-okay after you've been out all day. So cab rides can be a little bit difficult, especially if you don't know how to say the name of the hotel, or if like that cab driver is just not familiar with English at all. So next, look up how far the attractions are that you want to go to. I always look up the attractions in general just because I like to know where I want to go, what might be most interesting to see, and how much free time I have to see them. You want to make sure that you know how far these destinations are from you, especially so that you know how to have a way to and from there. Have a map too, get a map. I always do this just because I be hungry all the time. Look up the local foods. It's always good to know like what their local cuisine is, like what is typically eaten over there, what you're gonna find in restaurants over there. Especially if you're a picky eater, you need that. Like look up and see if you have dietary restrictions, like if you're vegetarian or if you are allergic to certain things, like see what they use most commonly in their food. Have an open mind about where you're willing to travel. Most of us are not balling. I'm not balling. I'm a single lady living here in the city paying student loans just like everybody else. So you do not have to be going to Paris and Dubai and all these super exotic cool places. You can find cool places right here in the United States, and you can get outside of the usual Atlanta, Miami, New York, LA thing too. Like all those places are great, but there are more places to go to than just those four. Somewhere outside of your norm, outside of your comfort zone, like just do something different. I'm really tired of seeing the same pictures on Instagram, just to be honest. So lastly, I cannot stress this enough, find you a travel buddy that is down for the cause. I know we have all been in that situation where you got the group text going, everybody is gung-ho, ready to go on this trip, looking up flight information, sending hotel links, and then a week later ain't nobody responding to your text in the group chat. Plan with someone who you know is gonna follow through with it. Like I have my travel buddy, we go places. I don't know about y'all, but I'm not too keen on traveling with a big group of people anyway. Like everybody wants to do, you know, hey, girls trip, you know, that's all fine and all. But everybody on that girl's trip was going. Just saying, everyone had a plan. Even Queen Latifah made her way, and she was struggling. Just saying. So those are all of my travel tips, you guys. I hope I answer all the questions. If you have any more questions, just leave a comment below, and don't forget to follow me on Instagram. My name is Niara Alexis on there. I get a lot of questions on Instagram. A lot of my video ideas come from Instagram, from you guys commenting and suggesting things. So make sure you follow me on there, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel too. If you're enjoying the content, you obviously made it to the end, so go ahead and subscribe, okay? Thanks so much for watching, you guys, and I'll see you next time.